top stories. Ambassador to the United Nations recalled. Venezuela calls for face-to-face dialogue on border dispute with Guyana. And sex ed classes in Belgian schools spark protests. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Thursday, September 28th, 2023. I'm your presenter, Shanique Harvey. Nationally, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis has recalled Ambassador and Permanent Representative of St. Kitts and Nevis to the United Nations, Her Excellency Nerisse Dockery, with immediate effect. According to a communique issued by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Dockery has been recalled to Capital for consultations. The communique further noted that, quote, the government remains committed to promoting the interests of St. Kitts and Nevis within the international community and to advancing its principled foreign policy, end quote. It also said that the government has identified an interim representative who is presently undergoing the accreditation process. Further details will be provided at a later date. St. Kitts Electricity Company Limited, or SKELEC's General Manager Clement Williams has provided details about the Independence 40 Electricity Reset Initiative that was announced by the Prime Minister in the most recent sitting of the National Assembly. The initiative includes the immediate reconnection for all residential SKELEC customers who are currently disconnected. During Wednesday's edition of ZIZ Radio's program Power Talk, Mr. Williams spoke of the requirements needed for customers who are disconnected to have their electricity restored.
The requirements for the reconnection are: one, you must be a residential customer. The reset is not for commercial customers, it is geared to residential customers. Now, you also have to you must set up a deferred payment arrangement for the outstanding arrears that would have caused you to be disconnected in the first place. This reset is not a wipe off or a debt forgiveness in any way whatsoever.
He stated that this initiative is a chance for persons to address their accounts that are in arrears.
It is an opportunity for persons to come, start afresh. We put your existing arrears in a deferred payment arrangements. We have extended the terms of the deferred payment arrangements to longer periods, thus making the monthly contributions to the deferred payment arrangements small.
He added that there is no reconnection fee and reminded persons that the standard documentation is still required to conduct business at SKELEC. These include 2 pieces of government-issued IDs, proof of address, and proof of entitlement to use the property.
Now, as the Prime Minister
and Nevis joined in celebrating the role of tourism and the role of green investments in shaping the nation on World Tourism Day, observed on September 27th. To mark the occasion, Minister of Tourism Honorable Marsha Henderson and Junior Minister of Tourism Cameron Audain gave an address guided by the World Tourism Day 2023 theme, Tourism and Green Investments. Minister Henderson emphasized the significance of sustainable practices within the tourism industry, outlining the role of responsible environmental stewardship and eco-friendly investments.
Tourism has for just over 2 decades been the cornerstone of our economy, and as we continue to strategize and move forward, we appreciate and recognize the need to embrace sustainable practices and align our efforts with the principles of environmental conservation. We understand that responsible tourism is not just a trend, but a necessity for the preservation of our natural resources and the well-being of our communities.
Junior Minister Audain spoke to the prioritization of green investment and the expected impact on the tourism product.
As Junior Minister of Tourism of these beautiful islands, I am proud to announce that we are embarking on a new era of tourism development by prioritizing green investments. We firmly believe that investing in sustainable practices will not only enhance the appeal of our destination, but also create long-term economic opportunities for our people. Through strategic partnerships and collaborations, we will encourage the implementation of renewable energy solutions, promote eco-friendly transportation, and support the conservation of our biodiversity.
The tourism minister said the tourism ministry and authority will work with stakeholders to forge a sustainable tourism model that benefits everyone. We move now to news on the regional scene. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has called for a resumption of face-to-face and direct dialogue with Guyana regarding the border dispute. However, the Guyana government announced on Wednesday that the country has moved beyond face-to-face negotiations and will instead rely on the World Court for a resolution under the 1966 Geneva Agreement. Shemar Alain provides more details in this report.
Aquí hay una sola solución, y es retomar el diálogo cara a cara, directo, en el marco del Acuerdo de Ginebra. Por eso le ratifico al presidente de Guyana.
That was Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro calling on President Irfan Ali to resume face-to-face and direct dialogue on the border controversy. But when contacted via telephone, Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Hugh Todd told Nightly News that the time for bilateral talks has passed.
Past the bilateral conversations and the discussions of the good offices, which has failed. We've had 2 decades of that, and the United Nations Secretary General at that time also, but back in 2018, also determined that the bilateral talks would have failed, which were also contained in the Geneva Agreement. So we're long past that.
According to Todd, Guyana will rely on the International Court of Justice to settle the matter.
Forward with the case itself. We're committed to that. We want Venezuela to commit also to the case and to participate. They have until April of next year to submit their counter memorial, after which the merits of the case will be dealt with. So that is real.
Last week, the Spanish-speaking nation rejected Guyana's just concluded oil blocks auction, which can see companies searching and possibly producing oil offshore. The government and the opposition have held to one head in defending Guyana's territorial integrity. Reporting for HGP Nightly News, Shemar.
Tourism officials say Antigua and Barbuda is to welcome additional flights from the United States, the country's most important source market for visitors. The revelation comes from Chief Executive Officer of the Antigua and Barbuda Tourism Authority, Colin James. ABS's Ursel Charles Jr. reports.
A series of increasingly frequent flights will provide opportunities for more visitors into Antigua Barbuda come tourism season this year. Chief Executive Officer of the Antigua Barbuda Tourism Authority, Colin James, confirms more airlift out of the U.S. market.
We now have Silver Airways serving the destination from November 16th. They'll be having 4 flights a week coming into Antigua, and those flights will be coming in the afternoon, overnight, and leave again early in the next morning. What that does for us is that it opens us up to more cities in the USA, because Silver code shares with Delta, with United, with JetBlue, and so you can connect from more cities to San Juan. If you were not able to get our morning connections out of the USA, you can connect in the afternoon, get to Antigua same day.
There are also discussions, he says, with another yet unnamed airline.
We are also in discussions with some other airlines, but we cannot make any announcement yet. As you know, the airline industry is very competitive, and so we like to have all the I's dotted and the T's crossed before we make an announcement. But we should have additional lift from a new gateway coming out of the USA this year, if all goes well.
James also confirms United Airlines will operate several weekly flights instead of the sole flight it currently flies.
This winter season, we have United from the 23rd of December. United is going to be coming daily. Now it's just a Saturday service, but daily for the next month or so. And then in the month of February, they go to twice per week service. So out of that core tri-state area, which is our bread and butter, our bread basket, where most of our visitors come from, Connecticut, Boston, Philly, New York, New Jersey, we're going to have very, very strong lift from there.
The U.S. source market continues to lead inbound tourism figures, and officials are ramping up efforts to ensure Antigua Barbuda becomes a year-round destination. For ABS News, I'm Ursil Charles Jr.
Internationally, the start of the school year in Belgium has been turbulent and even violent amid a controversy that has not calmed down 4 weeks after classes resumed. The controversy surrounds a workshop on sex education called EVRAS. Religious extremist circles have been whipping up opposition. More in this France 24 report.
Since the start of the school year, these 5 letters have ignited tensions in Belgium. EVRAS, the French acronym meaning Education in Relational, Emotional, and Sexual Life, is an educational workshop proposed to be given in schools that's provoked the anger of these demonstrators. Muslims, fundamentalist Catholics, and conspiracy theorists have joined together to demand the suppression of these workshops.
They teach our children, if you're a boy, but believe in your head that you're a girl, you can become a girl.
Concerns are so strong that several schools have been set on fire in Belgium over the past weeks. This father disapproves of such vandalism, but he says as a Muslim, he doesn't want his children to receive this teaching.
It's a big problem to be forced to accept something that we cannot accept. It doesn't just concern the Arab and Muslim diaspora. In the last demonstration, there were also many Europeans.
The tools used in schools come from family planning programs. Their director has agreed to show us the equipment used.
Here I have a booklet that allows you to talk about the issue of periods.
It's a way for her to counter the misinformation about these workshops, especially on the question of gender.
There's a lot of confusion. When we talk about gender, there's already the question of gender stereotypes. That's important to address when it comes to equality. Now on transition issues, obviously no one is going to encourage a child to transition.
The controversy has been closely followed by the Belgian authorities. This specialist says that part of this anti-EVRAS movement has had the same motivations for a long time.
Some of these Muslim religious actors are linked to Islamism, and Islamism's strategy is to regulate the education of Muslims in Europe. When they demonstrate, in reality, they refuse this national education plan, but behind it they also refuse a model of society.
More than a month after the start of the school year, the controversy doesn't seem to be calming down. The demonstrators threatened to challenge the EVRAS system in court.
U.S. presidential candidates held a fiery second debate on Wednesday. One of the targets was former President Donald Trump, who skipped the lineup. Foreign policy, border controls, and North American debt were also on the agenda. Al Jazeera's John Hendren reports.
The candidates at the Ronald Reagan Library showed a new sense of urgency and energy.
And you hear the fire on the stage tonight. You hear the fire in all of our voices.
They clashed over border security, foreign policy, and the national debt.
And I want to be respectful because I believe these were respectful last debate.
Vivek Ramaswamy doubled down on his bombastic breakout performance in the first debate.
I favor ending birthright citizenship for the kids of illegal immigrants in this country.
Nikki Haley, who was boosted in polls and donors after the first debate, tried to accelerate that momentum in sharp exchanges with him and others.
Honestly, every time I hear you, I feel a little bit dumber for what you say.
And Ron DeSantis, polling a distant second, sought to make up ground against the frontrunner. The 7 candidates who took the stage at the Reagan Library are vying to be the alternative to the overwhelming favorite, Donald Trump, in a party that, according to polls, isn't necessarily looking for one. Missing was Trump, who wields a commanding lead despite facing 91 charges in 4 separate indictments. He opted to appear at a non-union auto plant in Michigan instead, an absence his rivals pointed out.
Donald, I know you're watching. You can't help yourself. I know you're watching, okay? And you're not here tonight, not because of polls and not because of your indictments. You're not here tonight because you're afraid of being on the stage and defending your record. You're ducking these things. And let me tell you what's going to happen. You keep doing that, no one up here is going to call you Donald Trump anymore. We're going to call you Donald Duck.
Again and again.
Donald Trump is missing in action. He should be on this stage tonight. He owes it to you to defend his record where they added $7.8 trillion to the debt.
They went after President Joe Biden and each other.
You know, Ron, you talk a really good game about cutting spending, but you've increased spending in Florida by 30%.
With less than 4 months until primary voting begins, the time left to break out of the Republican presidential pack is quickly running out. John Hendren, Al Jazeera, Los Angeles.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel.
Oh, crap. The weather is next after this short break.
When hurricane season strikes, businesses need a partner who's ready to go the extra mile. One who understands the challenges and has experience to mitigate the risks. Trust C&W Business, your safety net in the eye of the storm. Our comprehensive disaster recovery strategies empower businesses to protect critical assets, keep communication channels open, and help operations recover quickly, ensuring the safety and continuity of your business. With C&W Business, a safe business is an open business.
And now for the weather. Present weather is cloudy with slight showers. Temperature is 32 degrees Celsius or 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are a light breeze of 7 miles per hour from the north. Seas are 1.5 to 2.1 meters or 4 to 7 feet. Weather forecast in St. Kitts and Nevis for today and tonight will be partly cloudy skies with a 40% or a moderate chance of brief showers. Sunset for today will be at 6:02 p.m. and sunrise tomorrow will be at 6:01 a.m. We'll be right back after this.
When hurricane season strikes, businesses need a partner who's ready to go the extra mile. One who understands the challenges and has experience to mitigate the risks. Trust C&W Business, your safety net in the eye of the storm. Our comprehensive disaster recovery strategies empower businesses to protect critical assets, keep communication channels open, and help operations recover quickly, ensuring the safety and continuity of your business. With C&W Business, a safe business is an open business.
And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your presenter, Shanique Harvey.